This is the theme to Cherry Show. The theme to Cherry Show. Cherry got too bored and had to make this theme song. I'm almost halfway finished. How do you like it so far? How do you like the theme to Cherry Show? This is the theme to Cherry Show, the opening theme to Cherry Show. This is the music that you hear as you wait for Cherry. We're almost to the part of where I start to whistle. Then we watch the Cherry History Show. This was the theme to Cherry's History Show.
Hello. Welcome to Midnight Cherry TV. We are officially here. It is today, back in the day, here on February 29th. February 29th, it is leap day, leap year here in 2024, in the current year of recording today, back in the day. If you're new to Today Back in the Day or Midnight Cherry TV, Midnight Cherry TV is a variety channel here on YouTube. And of course, Today Back in the Day is a 365-day series, and now a 366-day series, where we take a look at the Wikipedia entry for every day in history, see what happened, explore it, look at the events, the birthdays, the deaths, the holidays. We might have some laughs along the way. We'll have some fun. We like to do a couple different things here on Today Back in the Day, but we're bringing it back. It's been a long hiatus between live Today Back in the Day episodes, but let's get it started here again. It is Today Back in the Day, February 29th, leap day, leap year's day, leap year day. Of course, February 29th is a leap day, or an intercalary date. Intercalation or embolism in timekeeping, the insertion of a leap day, week, or month into a calendar. Periodically to create leap years in the Julian and Gregorian calendars. It is the 60th day of the leap year in both calendars, and 306 days remain to the end of the year. We got a long year ahead of us here at Today Back in the Day. It is, of course, the last day of February in leap years, with the exception of 1712 in Sweden. We'll get to that a little bit later. It is also the last day of the meteorological winter in the Northern Hemisphere, and the last day of the meteorological summer in the Southern Hemisphere in leap years. So we begin a different meteorological season here on February 29th, leap day, here on Midnight Cherry TV. Today Back in the Day. In the Gregorian calendar, the standard civil calendar used in most of the world, February 29th is added in each year that is an integer multiple of 4 unless it is evenly divisible by a 100, but not by 400. For example, 1900 was not a leap year, but 2000 was, which brings us to 2024. This is a current leap year. We're recording this live Today Back in the Day here. We got Ballroom Day. Used to get mad early to watch Today Back in the Day, and they are here again, checking out Today Back in the Day, bringing it back. Hopefully we find a few more people coming to pop in the chat. Those old time listeners of Midnight Cherry TV. Today Back in the Day, the dulcet sounds of history. Let it wash over you with a little bit of content here. Let's see what we got here at events. Now, of course, Wikipedia has changed its setup of days. We've got various eras now, separated, of course, pre-1600. We got some, of course, king, but 1504, we got to look at that. 1504, Christopher Columbus, the original Italian navigator, used his knowledge of the lunar eclipse to convince Jamaican natives to provide him with supplies. So just a long line of people taking advantage of the natives. This time back in Jamaica, Irie man, Christopher Columbus, taken possibly some sticky icky, using his knowledge of the lunar eclipse to convince Jamaican natives to provide him with supplies. Boy, oh boy. Grift. The original Italian grifter. Christopher Columbus here on Today Back in the Day. February 29th, leap day. It's a leap year. Hope you're having a good February 29th, wherever you may be in the world. 1601 and 1900 era, we have... of course, there's always some ships. There's always some raids. Of course, Queen Anne's War. You have some French, Native Americans teaming up to kill those British colony villagers back in 1704. 1712, though, we got February 30th. February 30th, they abolished the Swedish calendar. The Swedish calendar or Swedish style calendar, having 30 days in February. February 30th. That seems like a fake day, and it kind of is. But back in the day, 1712, today, February 29th, the day back in the day, we had another day coming tomorrow, February 30th, back in Sweden with the Swedes eating their herring, enjoying a nice February 30th. Let's see what we got here. We got Polish nobles formed the Bar Confederation, 1768. We have the Jay Treaty, creating trade, of course, between United States and Great Britain back in 1796. We got 1892, St. Petersburg, Florida is incorporated. I don't, that seems like not that important. Not that important, guys. I apologize to any St. Petersburg, Florida folks out there. It does not seem like an important event. But of course, you guys did it on Leap Day, so here we are. Today, back in the day, February 29th, St. Petersburg, Florida incorporated. Let's see what else we got going on. We got Vickyverse in the chat. Columbus had a map. Getting back in the day here on today, back in the day. St. Pete is the oldest city in the U.S., says Vickyverse. Is it, though? Because what constitutes a city? Or were there native cities larger than St. Petersburg was before Columbus brought the white man over into America? Who knows? We don't know. We weren't there. But I say in 2024, looking back in 1892, St. Petersburg, Florida being incorporated, not super important. But let's see, we got 1908. Of course, everything's important here on Today Back in the Day. So, who am I to say? Because, of course, they got James Madison University popping up here. All kinds of stuff here. Let's see. We got 1908, James Madison founded. We have the Piedra Movediza of Tindil. Falls and breaks. That's the balancing rock, guys. I don't know if you're familiar with the balancing rock. A 300-ton rock that delicately balanced. You're seeing the photo now there on YouTube, but the delicate balancing rock, 1912, fell and broke over. So it existed for a long time. The La Piedra Movediza in Buenos Aires, Argentina, guys. 300-ton rock balancing. Finally fell. They say it's vandalism, guys. Vandalism, of course, the culprit back in 1912 when vandalism probably just getting it started. Just the vandalism heyday of the 1910s. Back in the day, destroying the Piedra Movediza. But let's see what else we got. We got United Kingdom annexing some things. We got South Carolina. Shout out to South Kakalaka. 1916. Minimum working age for factory, mill, and mine workers raised from 12 to 14. Back in the day, taking those 12-year-olds that are just trying to take care of their family back in South Carolina, taking their jobs. I feel bad for 1916 12-year-olds trying to raise money for their wife and child in South Kakalaka and not being able to do the minimum working age. So that's too bad. 1916 South Kakalaka, as they call it. Let's see, we got 1920 Czechoslovak National Assembly Constitution. 1936, the February 26th incident, guys. That's an attempted coup d'etat over there in Japan, the Empire of Japan, pre-World War II. Crazy Japan nonsense. We got 1940, Mammy, Hattie McDaniel, first black woman to win an Academy Award. Mammy and Gone with the Wind. Hattie McDaniel wins an Academy Award today. Back in the day, 1940, February 29th, Mammy winning an Oscar. Pretty proud of her back then. 1940, we got Finland initiates Winter War peace negotiations. We've got some Ernest Lawrence receives the Nobel Prize. We got Operation Brewer, Admiralty Islands, 1944. 1980, though, guys, 1980, Gordie Howe, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Hockey. Gordie Howe, Canadian professional ice hockey player, played 26 seasons in the NHL. 26 seasons. And of course, with those Detroit Red Wings, I'm not a Detroit Red Wings fan, but you got to respect Gordie Howe. Mr. Hockey scores his 800th goal back in 1980, NHL history. 1984, recently, Pierre Trudeau, the original, the OG Pierre Trudeau, announced his retirement as Liberal Party over there in Canada. Let's see, we got, of course, those damn kids, old-timey vandals. You got to be wary of the old-timey vandals destroying the Piedra Moviza. Let's see, we got South African Archbishop Desmond Tutu is arrested along with 100 other clergymen during a 5-day anti-apartheid demonstration in Cape Town, 1988. Desmond Tutu, back in the day, another OG gangster, Desmond Tutu, again arrested. Let's see, we got gay Canadian House members back in 1988. Sven Robinson, he does look gay. Look at that ascot, pretty gay. That is a fairly gay ascot. Of course, he is. That's 1988. We got first day of Bosnia-Herzegovina independence referendum. We got the siege of Sarajevo officially ends. So, some things happen. We got some Chechens attack, killing some Russian paratroopers. Outstanding. But let's see. We got 2008. The UK withdraws Prince Harry. Prince Harry from his tour of Afghanistan. Scared. Misha Di Fonseca admits to lying about her Holocaust history, where she lived with wolves. You already survived the Holocaust. You need to add in living with wolves. I don't think it's necessary. But of course, she admits to fabricating it. We got North Korea suspends uranium enrichment back in the day on Leap Day. Wow, Leap Day back in 2012. We got a suicide bombing by ISIL back in 2016. We got some demonstrations 2020. The Doha Agreement, the Taliban back in Leap Day 2020, back in the day. Let's see, we got some, of course, today back in the day, we love looking at births, deaths, events, holidays. We look at it all. We like to look at it all. We appreciate all of it here on Today Back in the Day. But let's take a look. Let's fire through some births. Fire through some births here today back in the day. Pope Paul III, back in the day, 1468. We got John Byram, founder of the Shakers. Ann Lee, we got a religious founder. Look at that forehead. Ann Lee, that is a bad drawing. 1736. Let's see, we got Premier of Tasmania. We got some Dickie Pierce, baseball manager back in the day, born. We got some politicians, of course, actors. 1904, though, Jimmy Dorsey, composer, band leader, the suave Jimmy Dorsey, born today, February 29th, today back in the day, 1904. Let's see, we got Balthus, the painter, illustrator, 1908. Leonard Schoen, the founder of U-Haul, guys. So pack up those bags, pack up those boxes. Leonard Schoen, 1916, born today, founder of U-Haul. U-Haul trucks, guys. U-Haul moving company. Al Rosen, we got another baseball player manager, born today. Let's see what else we got. Some good stuff, guys. Good stuff. We got the U-Haul stuff. We got Tempest Storm, the queen of exotic dancers, born today. Tempest Storm, born Annie Banks, American burlesque performer, died 2021, but born today, 1928, the queen of exotic dancers. Of course, we got Jaguar, Brazilian cartoonist, born 1932. Some good little birthdays today. We got Big Steve in the chat, popping popping those cherries in the chat. Always good to see some old school cherry fans out there. Of course, let's see what else we got here. Looking at those birthdays here today on a leap year, February 29th. It's leap day. We're continuing the Today Back in the Day history journey here on Midnight Cherry TV. We have some serial killers born today. 1956, Eileen Wuornos, the monster, Charlize Theron serial killer. Of course, Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, also born today, 1960. And Khaled, the original Khaled, not DJ Khaled, but the original Khaled, an Algerian singer-songwriter, all born today, back in the day, back in 56 and 60, respectively. On February 29th, Bryce Paup, former Green Bay Packer and Buffalo Bill, Jacksonville Jaguar, Minnesota Viking, a linebacker, pretty solid NFL career. If you're an NFL sports ball fan, as some of the non-sports fans might say. Bryce Paup, I remember back in the day, remember those 90s Bryce Paup hits, born today, 1968. Let's see, we got Antonio Sabato Jr., kind of B-level, C-level actor from back in the day, from the 90s, 2000s. Antonio Sabato Jr., born today. Saul Williams, singer-songwriter. Pedro Zamora from Real World, died of the gay AIDS. Pedro had that cartoonist that drew My Friend Pedro. I don't remember. Judd Winnick pulled that information out, but HIV, the gay AIDS, Pedro, born today. Back in the day, 1972. Along with Ja Rule, fuck Flavor Flav, your Ja Rule's second cousin. It's Ja Rule, 1976. Jeffrey Bruce Atkins Sr., better known as Ja Rule, or featuring Ja Rule. Of course, this is Today, Back in the Day, February 29th, featuring Ja Rule. Born today, 1976. Of course, I'm now referring to 1976 as 1976, featuring Ja Rule, because as we all know, Ja Rule is mainly a featured thing. I don't really know. Ja Rule doesn't really have a solo career per se. But let's see what else we've got. Any more interesting birthdays here today? Got some players, some sports. Tyrese Halliburton, pretty good current NBA player for the Indiana Pacers, nicknamed Holly. I've never heard that nickname used. Tyrese Halliburton, born today, 2000, the year 2000, here on Leap Day. We got a sad death right off the rip. 468. I'm going to take a moment here. It's a sad day. Can we all bow our heads here today, wherever you may find yourself? R.I.P. Can I, if you're in the chat, if you're watching this later, maybe put a candle emoji in the comments or in the chat. R.I.P. 468. Pope Hilarious, the funniest of the popes. Funniest and general, most hilarious of popes. Pope Hilarious died this day, February 29th. What am I talking about? February 29th, Leap Day. R.I.P. Pope Hilarious, 468, died today. It's a sad day. I'm a little teared up. Light a candle at the house. Put a candle emoji in the chat. Put a candle emoji in the comments. Remember the short life of Pope Hilarious, the funniest of the popes. The comedy genius pope of his time, Pope Hilarious. But R.I.P. Pope Hilarious. Died 468 here on February 29th. Let's see what else we got here. We got, let's see. I don't think we're going to top Pope Hilarious's death happening today. That's a pretty sad death. We got Ludwig I of Bavaria. We got some premiers of Tasmania. Some various astronomers. Pat Garrett, of course, helped kill Billy the Kid. Pat Garrett died today, R.I.P. 1908. If you're a fan of Police, I guess you would enjoy Pat Garrett. Really more of a criminal that turned on his friend, Billy the Kid. for you Western legend fans. Pat Garrett. Did I? February 29th, 1908. We got Giuseppe Vitali, Italian mathematician. You just got to enjoy saying the name Giuseppe. Of course, do that with a little hand movement there. Give yourself the full Italian experience. We got, let's see, just a lot of random kind of actors. And, we do have a real big death today. We got Gil Elvgren, one of the original painters of pinup models back in the day, known for a lot of pretty girl illustrators of pinups. We'll show you a pinup later here to close the show, but RIP, maybe put up a little bikini emoji or something to celebrate Gil Elvgren dying today, 1980, February 29th, Leap Day. Today, back in the day, guys, back in the day, RIP. Let's see what else we got. We got, of course, Davy Jones of the Monkees. Hey, hey, we're the Monkees. RIP, Davy Jones, dying today, February 29th, 2012. 2012. Seems like that was only yesterday. Wrong band, but that is Davy Jones, 2012. We got some swimmers, some various German actors. We do have a Christian feast day. We got St. John Cassian, of course, brought a lot of early monk type attitudes to the church back in the day. February 29th, Christian feast day. Today, wherever you may be on February 29th, it is St. John Cassian Day here as a Christian feast day. It is also Rare Disease Day. Rare Disease Day. In leap years, usually celebrating common years on February 28th, they chose it because it's a rare, but then bone themselves because it's so rare that they can't ask for money every year on that day. Bad moves. Interesting move. You overthought it a little bit, Rare Disease Day. Rare Disease Day, you overthought it a little bit by doing it on Leap Day. Bachelor's Day in Ireland and England. And of course, women propose to men. Women ask men out. If they refuse, there is punishments, various things of that nature. It was legal in Scotland, England, Ireland. Irish tradition of women, it's kind of the basis for Sadie Hawkins Day to some degree. Bachelor's Day today here on Leap Day, so rare. It's so rare they made it once every 4 years to allow women to ask men out. It is Bachelor's Day here on February 29th, Leap Day today, back in the day. But we had a pretty good little mix of information here today on February 29th, today, back in the day. We got Arne saying poor Ja, saying Gil Elvgren does look like a pinup illustrator kind of guy. And she's not wrong, but we're going to look at at a Gil Elvgren image here to close the show here on this comeback episode of Today Back in the Day here on Leap Day, February 29th. I hope you're enjoying the dulcet sounds of history and let it wash over you with the daily events, birthdays, deaths, events, holidays, and general good vibes out there for each day in history. Each day is a new day, a fresh day to both look back and also begin again. Especially here on February 29th, a rare day. But we're going to look at Gil Elvgren, a piece of artwork. One of his more well-known artworks is called Fresh Lobster. Fresh Lobster, guys. This is R.I.P. Gil Elvgren. I enjoy this artwork because we know it's an adult. We know it's an adult woman. There is no confusion over whether this is a child or some sort of prepubescent young girl. It is just a woman who works at a high-end lobster seafood restaurant. She clearly also, they serve alcohol there. There's alcohol on the platter that she is spilling. She's wearing very high heels, which most children cannot wear high heels. That's usually an adult woman thing. So again, I enjoy this artwork because it's an adult woman, which is nice with so many degenerates out there. It's nice to look back in the day at the pinups of Gil Elvgren, Fresh Lobster. The lobster is pulling up her dress and being fresh. So keep your lobsters fresh out there here on February 29th, today back in the day. It was nice to come back to enjoy some history here, to look at February 29th, today back in the day, at the days, the events, and all that good stuff. But thanks for coming. And if you want to leave a comment, please leave a comment. Thank you, everybody in the chat. And we'll see where Midnight Cherry TV content schedule takes us. But for now, that's the end of Today Back in the Day at Midnight Cherry TV.